Well, good morning. Here we are at we're on the Kimmeridge Road over in the Isle of Purbeck on the 25th of November. Pretty chilly, murky morning. Going to do a walk today, takes us up towards Houndstown and then eventually down into the valley past Smedmore House. It's part of a number of walks you can do in this area, and part of it you can't do today, as you've just seen from the earlier video. The range walks are closed for firing today, as they often are during the week. So I'm just going to do a part of the walk, which is the walk up to Houndstown, along to the triangulation point, and then down into the valley and walk back. Not a long walk, probably about 4 or 5 mile maybe. Might pop into Kimmeridge later on. We'll see how we get on. The path actually runs parallel to the main coast path, and in fact one part of it you can join up with the coast path, and you'll see that later on. Unfortunately, views there are a little bit murky, but might clear up, so we'll see how we get on. But we're going down here, and we'll start walking. So I've parked in what's known as the quarry car park on the road running down into the Kimmeridge private road. Just walk back up a little way on this tarmac road, and then take a left. You take a right, as you can see here, and it takes up a fairly long, I won't say steep, but certainly rising path up to the top. So you can probably see the path here, and as you can probably see, the camera probably doesn't pick it up, it's not exactly flat. I'll pick it up later on. Maybe at this point you're feeling slightly out of breath, and I am. I could have just walked up about a 3-in-1 incline. I'm not at the top yet. What you get, you're starting to see these fantastic views. A bit murky today, as I've said, but hopefully that'll burn off. But this is the top of the Isle of Purbeck, as you can get. That's the run of hills that runs from Corfe Castle, and just to make clear, no, we're not at the top yet. So we'll carry on walking up here. It does level off a bit, but after getting out of the car, that certainly gets the cobwebs out of the system. And better still, I do see some sun. And look at this. This is the sun starting to poke through the clouds. And hopefully can get a good shot of it. There we are. Isn't that pretty? And there we are, looking at the coastline. Takes us along to the Clavel Tower. It's just outside Kimmeridge, and then going down into Kimmeridge Bay itself, which is there, then up towards Tyneham Cap and the ranges, which, as I said, are closed today. It is staggering, beautiful part of the Purbeck coast. It really is. And of course the coast path goes all the way along here, all the way along. And so this path does join it if you want to. We're not going to today, but it could do. But yeah, look at that. That's situation, lovely. Okay, so come to our first gate. And as always, make sure you shut the gate. And that's going back the way we came. It's almost like being in an aeroplane up here, looking down. Not a soul about. Absolutely beautiful. Now I'm being watched by a number of sheep here, and I just thought I'd show where the path goes, because it walks along this ridge, ends up at that sharp pointy bit in the distance there, and then basically we get to the end there, then we head down into the valley, and it joins up with a farm track. Eventually it takes us through to Smedmore House, and then walk back along the joins a very minor road, basically the driveway to Smedmore, and back to the Kimmeridge Road. And we'll have a look at Smedmore. So I've been inside that many years ago. Opens occasionally to visitors, not often. Lovely place. There's a caravan site just opposite it. But as you can see, the path carries on climbing. So come with me. Have you ever met lazy sheep? Yes, you. Yeah, you. So the track has flattened out, which is rather nice, and we're carrying on walking towards the end of this ridge. The sun is still peeping through the clouds over the sea. Unfortunately, it's not coming in our direction. To be fair, it's not particularly forecast to come in our direction. It's meant to be overcast all day, so that is what we're expecting. And the whole coast is shrouded in low cloud, which is a shame, because it's stunning up here when it's beautiful, but equally it's got its own mystery and mystique when you can't see everything. You've done this walk many times, which I have, and seeing it in all different weathers is part of the joy, really. And this path is a very well walked path. It's a very distinctive track. You can see bicycle trails along here, which is fine. It's plenty of room for everybody. And of course, in front of me you've got the end of the ridge. I was saying, to my left, which I'll show in a minute, you've got the copse of trees, and that copse and going through that takes you back to Kingston. And we did a walk round the Scott Arms in Kingston, down to Corfe Castle a few weeks ago. So it all joins up, and that's going towards the Houndstown car park. So yes, it's lovely. Not a breath of wind, no rain yet, although I'm not sure there's some rain over there, looking a bit dodgy. But we'll carry on. It's getting closer to the edge now, so I'll show you what that looks like. So yes, it's through this next gate, and as you can see, the path starts to follow the edge of the ridge very closely indeed. And of course, we go down that in a minute, which should be fun today. So let's get along and see where we get to. Well, here's a seat with a view. It's a memory of Angela Lardner, 1946 to 2014. I think she was a local resident, I'm not quite sure. But she certainly had an eye for a view. But it is a stunning vista right across the Kimmeridge Bay and right across the Tyneham, right along the ridge. And even though it's not crystal clear today, it is a staggering view. And that's the farm down there we're going to walk through shortly. In the meantime, we need to negotiate the next stile and go up, strangely enough. So if you're walking this way, and there's different variations of this walk you can do, there's plenty of permutations, but you want to pop into Kingston, then from the stile just there, it's 2 miles to Kingston. And basically you follow this path, and when you get to the end, I'll show you, you just basically hang a left and you walk down quite a long track into Kingston. So I guess it'll be about a mile from the end of the ridge here. Equally, when we're going to turn right down the steep slope and down the valley, and I'm going to turn right, walk past Smedmore, again you can carry straight on down to the coast path and walk into Kimmeridge and past the Clevel Tower. So lots and lots of different routes. And one of the longer ones, and you're going to do it when the ranges are open, is to almost start at any point on the route. Let's say Kimmeridge, walk up to Tyneham Cap, right along the ridge to where I started, then across the road and walk on this path come to the end where I'm going now, down right to the coast and back along to Kimmeridge, and that is a good walk. That's probably, I would say 8 to 10 miles, something like that. Beautiful walk, quite up and down. Need to be on your form that day, but yeah, beautiful, much longer walk. But you've got to get your timing right so the ranges are open. But we're getting there now, so what I'll do is I'll close it down for a minute and look again when we get to the end of the ridgeline. So we've met some people who've clearly walked up from Kingston, the path I was just talking to you about, up there from the left. And here we are with the triangulation point and an earth mound at the end there. So let's just wander up and see what's going on, shall we? Okay, so this is where the ridgeline ends, and you've got to either go left towards Kingston or right down into the valley and join the coast path or the track, so like leading past Smedmore. I'm not going to be filming a lot of the next bit because it's going to be near vertical, going down. And here's another seat with a view. Not bad, eh? Okay, so this is the entrance to the path down. Ropelake Head, coast path, 1 mile. Permissive path. Permissive at your own risk, no doubt. So let's see where it gets us to. Yeah, that's the path down there. Time to have your wits about you, I think. So, negotiate the first bit. We've had basically steps cut into the hill, big, deep steps, but actually pretty safe. Then we carry on going down here, and it turns into a grassy path, which might not be quite as helpful, but we'll see. But yeah, so far so good. Lovely. But not going to have my hands tied up, so I'm going to put this away again. So we're in the valley now, and we've got to the track that leads down to the farmhouse and through Smedmore. Just to confirm where we've come from, that ridge line up there, and basically, yeah, from up there, and it doesn't look very steep on the camera, but I can assure you it is. So the choice is now, do I carry on with my original route, which is basically down there, or shall I go on to Rope Head, which is over that stile just there. Now, up until this point, it's almost exactly 2 miles, but because of the steep up and now the steep down, it's walking longer than that. So let's have a think, and I'll come back to you when I've decided. Okay, well, sorry about any wind noise you can hear now. It's got a bit breezy. But that's the track down to the farm, and this is the path down to the coast. Just there. And you go down the coast and turn right, and that takes you back into Kimmeridge. And you can see a better view of the rest of the coastline now. And what you can see in the distance, just there, are the highest cliffs in Dorset, I think. Or on Purbeck, certainly. That's St Aldham's Head. Still a bit murky, but not really anything you can't see. So let's head down. So, very nearly at the coast path. Strange what you come across. A fairly random wooden seat in the middle of a field. So there we are. They are the rangers. So I'm walking along the path now towards Kimmeridge. Just met a nice couple walking along. No doubt they walked up from Kimmeridge car park. So this path is now walking straight towards Kimmeridge and the gunnery ranges at Lulworth. And and stunning, absolutely stunning, even on a day when it's pretty murky like it is today. It is gorgeous. So we'll carry on walking down here for a while and I'll show you the path. So yeah, this is the path, easy walking just along the coast. I'm into the wind at the moment, so you can hear some wind noise. That's what you can hear. It's not that strong, just a bit of a breeze. It's probably about 5 or 6 degrees, so it's not a warm day, but actually pretty good for walking. It's a Wednesday in the middle of November, about nearly December actually now, so it's really nice. Been getting cold recently, so I think we can assume that winter is now definitely upon us. But yeah, want to go on a boat? There you are. Looks like a fishing boat out there. And then we look back where we've come from, and we zoom back out. We can see the route of the walk, which is along that ridge line from the left all along to the top, down that steep slope, down to the coast path where I am today. So what we'll do, I think, is pick it up again and try and get to the tower. Just in case anyone was wondering how close is the path to the edge, the answer is very. I make that about 2 foot, and as is well known, it's not unknown to have erosion here, as you can see in the picture, but the edge is very, very close in some parts, and definitely not what we're doing, in my view, when there's an offshore wind. Well, that is where you might end up, which wouldn't be pretty. Oh, that was a steep climb to get up to this point, overlooking the tower. Just walk now into the tower in Kimmeridge Bay, and if I need a reminding, the coast isn't flat at all. So, having walked down from Ropelake, we're just nearing the shots of Clavel Tower, and wow, certainly up and down, but then still lovely out here. And the tower, as we'll see in a minute, definitely has been refurbished, and we'll get to the top of here and we'll be able to see the bay properly, and the Tyneham Cap and the range walks in the distance. You probably couldn't hear earlier in the filming when I was on the ridge line. You could actually hear small arms fire in the distance. So not using the big gun today because you definitely hear those, but there's also rifle ranges as well, so definitely a military area. And you can see the red flag down there, and here's the tower just here. So yeah, you can just see the red flag showing danger in the distance. This, of course, is Kimmeridge Bay, famous for its fossils and diving as well. I think even there might even be a protective for diving, I believe. And here we are. Here's the tower. One tower, which is fairly incongruous, middle of nowhere. Yeah, well, you used to go up to it, but it's private now, and I'm pretty sure, but not certain, that has been turned into a holiday home or cottage, something you can rent. And if so, what a place to rent. Wow. Anyway, apart from the views, looking down onto Kimmeridge, it's the car park. There's some old wartime gun emplacements or observations down there. It's nearly in the sea now. That's over there. You've got Tyneham Cap right at the end here, right at the end, right there, and that's all closed to the public because of the ranges at the moment, but open at weekends. So let's head down into Kimmeridge, shall we? There we are. A few warnings for you. Here we are in Kimmeridge. We've got the Wild Seas Centre. That's where we've just walked down from, Global Tower. As you can see from this notice down here, firing today. All sea users report to Warden's Hut for restricted areas. So in other words, try not to get shot at. Bit of TV for you. This is all new. Closed because of November, no doubt. So I just walked through Kimmeridge, past the all the fishing huts, and now we're almost behind the houses on the coast, following the path up to Kimmeridge village. So just up here, and I think there's some people up there. We come up here and we sort of take a right. So left the coast of Kimmeridge Bay and heading up towards Kimmeridge village. You can just see it there, and then almost directly above the village is the car park where we started. So not far to go now. We've done just about 5 miles so far, so I imagine it's probably about another mile back to the car. We'll see in a minute. But it's pretty easy walking. It's been very up and down all day. You can see where we walked up, that hill we walked up to start with. Again, meet a few people now. Kimmeridge is really a popular place. Even a few people like this time of year, and in summer, of course, it's stacked. And this path would be full of people. But in November, it's pretty dead. Well, the clouds lifted a bit. Just walked up past Kimmeridge village, across one of those fields where you want to find out whether your boots leak or not. Is that sort of grass, long, wet. I think mine marks out of 10, probably about 5 at best. By the way, they're about 26 years old, so maybe we should forgive that. A few flies up here for November, not bad. There's a clever old tower down there. And all we've got to do now, I've found the track at the end of this rather indistinct path, which now turns to a proper track. And if I'm right, it'll take us back to where we started, but that sign that said firing range is closed, it should come out there. So let's find out. So back at the car, that was just under 6 miles. It felt longer. It's quite echoey in this quarry. Yeah, very undulating. It was a lovely day to be out. Say no wind really to speak of. Beautiful scenery. You say even when it's a bit murky. Say it would be nicer if it was nice, bright, sunny day, I guess. But that's the beauty of walking. You don't always get the weather you'd necessarily want. But thoroughly recommend it. As I said, there's lots of versions you can do. And we'll probably come back another day and do the range walk over to Tyneham and back down to Kimmeridge that way. But got to choose a day so the ranges are open. And anyway, I'll put a map at the end of this video to show where we walked exactly. And come and try it. It's lovely. So until the next one, see you then.